Welcome to a jam-packed Maple Grove High School for the regular season finale in boys basketball. As Osseo tries to finish an undefeated regular season and Maple Grove has some other ideas. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, in a lot of ways this one doesn't mean a lot because of the fact that the playoffs are dead ahead, but when you see how many people are here and you know this rivalry, it means a lot still.
It matters a lot. It's bragging rights. Even though Osseo already has clinched the conference championship, they're 1-0. They don't. Maple Grove does not want to be 0-2 to Osseo. And especially when you beat a good team, you're heading into playoffs in a week or so, it's a momentum builder as well. And this was a really tight game the first time around. I expect Maple Grove on their home court to come out with a little bit more energy and maybe use the one advantage that they really have, and that's size. Reed Nico down low. But don't for a minute think that both of these coaches, both of these teams, and all the fans that are here right now don't care who wins this basketball game.
They are in different sections this year, and both of them really locked into #1 seeds already. Maple Grove now in Section 8 4A, and Osseo in Section 5. So perhaps if they were going to be meeting in the same section, it might alter the way this game's played, but that isn't the case anymore.
If they knew they were going to play each other in a week or two, maybe you don't show something, maybe you save a little strategy. But the fact that they don't play each other again until the state tournament, I think you give it everything you got to win this game. And again, it's beating a very good opponent, whoever would win. They're both top 5 as far as rankings in the state. You can do everything you can to win this game, get that momentum, and get the bragging rights over your rival.
Let's talk about key players to keep an eye on in tonight's game, starting with Osseo. And Alan Anderson was really key in the comeback win Osseo had in the first meeting.
I love that call. I think he's really critical tonight. Number one, he may be getting the task of guarding Brad Davison on the other end. But two, he just does such a nice job of handling the basketball. He gets Osseo into their flow. Jay, they have 6 guys that average 8 points or more. Really well balanced. He's kind of the guy, the dictator, that where does that ball go? Who needs to get a shot? He's really makes their rhythm go. And he's a very capable scorer, averaging 11 points, 6 assists. Just a really important piece of the pie for Osseo.
And for Maple Grove, we're going to talk about a junior who could be kind of an X factor tonight. Jack Hutchison, known for his shooting, but he also had, I thought, a real solid defensive game the first time around against Osseo.
Well, guarding Zach Tyson on the other end, who's a great shooter. Defensively, he was great. He obviously doesn't get as much attention as Reed Nico down low or Brad Davison. They have a little bit more gaudy stats. But Jack's a great shooter. He's an unbelievable three-point shooter. And if Brad Davison draws that defense to him and kicks him and he starts hitting threes early in the game, he's a game changer. He's a momentum changer. Couple of trips down, 6, 8, 9 points, just like that. He's that X factor. I love that he's the key player to watch tonight for Maple Grove.
All right, we'll see if Osseo can stay undefeated or if Maple Grove will turn the tables this time around. The Orioles and the Crimson tip off in a moment in a packed gym here at Maple Grove.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove as the crowd meets the teams for tonight's contest. As Maple Grove and Osseo, pretty similar starters that they've had most of the year. Obviously, the one big injury that we had slightly before the first game, but Tyron Pickford, Maple Grove's one of their top players, going out for the rest of the season. So obviously, he's no longer in their lineup. Here's the Osseo lineup. We've got Cameron Betty in the middle, and then a four-guard attack really with the sharpshooter Zach Tyson. Alan Anderson, we talked about him in the pregame. Jamario Armstrong, not Anderson there, and Dante Jones for the Orioles. And for Maple Grove, got Reed Nicko in the middle, who's sprained his ankle against Armstrong about a week ago, so he's definitely not going to be 100%. They said if it doesn't look good early, they may sit him some tonight, as the Crimson, again, besides bragging rights, have already, you got to be thinking playoffs here a little bit for both these teams too. So they're going to, Reed's going to give it a go, but if they don't feel he's moving well or if he's in some discomfort, then it may be a shorter night than usual.
And don't underscore how big of an injury that is, because Reed Nicko, when he's in the game, he's the one guy that Osseo has no answer for, size-wise. And I thought in that first half, the last time they played, they went 4-round-1, Maple Grove did, and they had a lot of success, and then Reed picked up a couple of fouls, had to come out, and then really it became Brad Davison handling the ball full court. I thought he got worn out, so I think that's a huge injury to watch to see how he responds early in the game.
Nicko had 15 points and blocked about 5 shots in that first meeting. Probably one of the more aggressive games that I've seen him play.
And here's something too that I think is really important. You got a big crowd. Obviously, it's more Maple Grove than Osseo. He gets a lot of quick, big dunks. That gets that crowd fired up. So look for that early on, some type of alley-oop or a play to get him going and get this crowd fired up. That's really when Maple Grove is hard to play, especially at home, especially with this kind of electricity in the crowd. Osseo is just one of those teams, they don't have one standout, but they got 7 or 8 really, really good players. They play together, they're unselfish, they don't care who gets the credit. And I know I said this last time too, Jay, but you win a football state championship, some of those guys are on this team, it's that winning mentality. They don't know how to lose right now, and they just seem to always find a way to win.
6'3" Jones will go up against 6'10".
Who do you got here, Joe?
Well, we'll see how that ankle is right away, too. Nicko easily controls to Brad Davison, and we are underway. Maple Grove had a real good first half over at Osseo, but Osseo was able to speed the tempo up more in the second half. They go right into Nicko here, steps through 2, shot won't drop, but he'll go to the line.
And again, they went right out, got 4 outside, so that means there's 4 perimeter players, and Reed Nicko's going block to block. And I thought Osseo did a nice job in the first game. They fronted Reed. Here he's able to catch the ball. He's got good footwork. His footwork is so improved. And all you can do is foul him and put him at the free throw line. That's a big point of contention. If they can get Reed involved early, take some of that pressure too off of Brad Davison having to handle the ball every possession.
Foul went against Betty, his first and team first, obviously, as we're just 14 seconds into the contest. Nicko missing the first. His second free throw is good, so Maple Grove on the board first, leading it 1-0. Anderson gets it back from Tyson. Jones looking inside to Betty, and he gets free from Nicko to score.
And that's where Reed Nicko's got to be a little bit more disciplined, just stay behind. He's got such a size advantage. If you gamble and you don't get it, that's an easy layup.
And you have to wonder, too, when you do have an ankle problem with those little chop steps. That's going to be on Pickford. Offensive foul and a good call. Just stuck his off arm out and pushed off. Another look at, you see Nicko a little tardy getting around.
And again, just knowing you got the size advantage, make Cameron Betty score on you, one-on-one defense. And remember, too, in the last game, Pickford got foul trouble. He was out a lot in the second half. He picked up that 4th foul to start the second half. I think he's really huge for Maple Grove. He's just that other guy that can handle the ball and can score.
Dante Jones from the left side won't drop, and Bredensteiner blocking out to get the rebound for the Crimson.
A great block out. Osseo's not, they're undersized, but they hustle and they get a lot of offensive rebounds. Blocking out like Bredensteiner did there, that's huge.
Davison topping out, takes a 3, but it's short on the rim there, and tip free to Tyson. No secret, Osseo would like the speed of this game much faster than Maple Grove would, and they'll be kind of having that little tug-of-war all night long. Anderson handing it off to Jones, cut off though by Davison. Betty puts it on the deck. Here's Armstrong, he's held by Bredensteiner.
I didn't realize this. I was doing some research today, Jay, on the internet. Because Osseo has the biggest winning margin of any team in the state of Minnesota. Their point differential is, I think it was like 28 or 29 points. So
not only can they score, they're efficient offensively, but they play tremendous defense as well.
And they've really, I mean, obviously when you're undefeated, you could say this, but they've really avoided many clunkers this year that sometimes, can happen to a team. Whereas Maple Grove, I mean, Centennial's not a bad team, but that's obviously not a game they would lose very often, and they did have that one. Anderson with a nice move and finish.
And you could see the lateral movement that time of Reed Nickel. He showed on that ball screen. Anderson did a nice right to left crossover in that long stride, able to get all the way to the basket.
And Davison loses it off his leg, over and back. Nice job by Armstrong getting up. Osseo has a few different guys that they plan to use on him tonight, being Armstrong, being Kyle Williams off the bench a little bit. Marmar Hughes, there's a look at that great move.
And that's where I think Reed Nickel has to just take a step or two back, force a contested jump shot there, not getting too far away from the basket.
Little pick and roll, Dante Jones on the finish from Anderson.
Just beautiful basketball. And how about this? 6 points, 3 different players have scored. That's that balance. They have 5, 6, 7 guys that can all score.
Pickford trying to get to the hoop. And it looks like the ball is going to be ruled. Is this a foul?
Foul. Beautiful, unselfish play. That's where that rotation defense, just a step slow, coming over on the weak side, able to get a nice, easy layup.
Jones picks up the foul. Pickford to the free throw line here. Maple Grove only points at the line, obviously, from Nico earlier. Free throw not good. Second one here from Pickford. Also no good. Bredensteiner trying to run it down, almost got it. So good start on the road here for Osseo so far, leading at 6-1. Betty looking inside to Jones again. Anderson chased back out as Davison switched on to him. Armstrong looking to drive it, and dishes down low to Betty for the layup.
A beautiful pass. Armstrong looked like he was going to lose his balance, able to hang on to it, and slips it underneath Nico's arms, able to get it to Betty. Got a nice start here.
Here's Pickford driving, no, but a foul on Anderson. He never quite got in front of him to try and cut him off, and Pickford, to his credit, just kept going.
Beautiful pass. And again, you see Nickel coming away from the basket, and I think that just opens everything up by the basket. When he stays by the basket, guys don't attempt layups because they don't want to get their shot blocked, as Pickford finally gets a free throw to drop. I'd rather have DeMario Armstrong hit a contested 10-footer than to come out and give that open layup. And Osseo is so unselfish, they'll make that extra pass to get a great shot.
Pickford this time nails them both, so an 8-3 lead here for Osseo as the Orioles hit the front court. Here's Tyson, and going to be an offensive foul as he warded off with his off arm there a little bit. Already the 4th team foul on the Orioles.
Well, keep an eye on that, especially as the game evolves here, and Brad Davison, who is great at drawing fouls, you're going to have to play him without fouling. You don't want to get into the bonus too early with Maple Grove because they will attack the basket and go to the free throw line.
Davison lobbing for Nico. Catch, no good, but he's fouled, and that'll be 2 on Cameron Betty.
Well, I know we talk a lot about Brad Davison having good vision, being a quarterback. You hear of that term in football, you throw it, and there's Tim Tyson, who's one of the best coaches in the state of Minnesota in his 14th year, that you throw a receiver open. And that time you saw that, the defender wasn't looking. Cameron Betty's head was turned. He threw it right over the top where only Reed Nico in his 6'9", 6'10" frame could go up and get it. And that's 2 early fouls on Cameron Betty.
Both Bezdiceks now in. John Bezdicek, number 4. Matt Bezdicek, number 11. The juniors coming into the game here for Osseo. And John had a real good game the first time around. Nico's free throw not good. So Maple Grove still yet to score a field goal, but the lead trimmed now to 8-4 as they've been getting to the line. And that can pay dividends later, too. Armstrong's going to take that 3 from the left side, and he hits.
I think that's a part of his game that's really improved this year, his outside shooting. He's known as such a great athlete, such a good slasher. That time he took what the defense gave him, the defense backs off, he's able to knock down that 3. Great start for Osseo.
Pickford cut off, goes to Hutchison. Now Bredensteiner down the lane. Little floater is short. Anderson almost ran into his teammate there. John Bezdicek, the lefty, wants to buy that ball on Nico, and that'll be 3 free throws coming here for John Bezdicek.
Oh, what a smart play. What a great play. He gets the big fella in the air. You can see Coach Schroeder. I've seen Coach Schroeder do that exact move 100 times in his life, being a great shooter himself. You show that ball, you get the guy up in the air, draw the foul. Smart play. Besides just getting 3 free throws out of it, Jay, you also get the big fella his first foul. And that's obviously a big point of contention. If you can get Reed Nickel out of the basketball game in foul trouble, Maple Grove is a different team.
Bezdicek, a chance to knock down 3 in a row. He hits the first. And the second, and one more coming. Kyle Williams, number 20, reporting in here for Osseo. Coach Tyson feeling that his team definitely deeper than Maple Grove. He said, if we can get into their bench, keep running hard, guard rotation in there, and they should be able to expose that a little bit.
And not only that, but in the first game, Brad Davison had handled the ball every possession, full court, and I thought he got tired as the game went down. As great a shape as he's in, but handling that kind of pressure, fresh guys always coming at you. That's a different type of game.
Pickford called to the travel. Defender got up to bother him. As soon as he turned to look up court, he saw that he was in a little traffic and quick little shuffle. And Bubba Horton will come in to replace him in the lineup for Maple Grove, number 33.
And I think a game like this against Osseo's personnel, that's where losing Taiwan Pickford really comes into play. Having that other guard, that other guy that can really handle the ball, attack the basket, another scoring option. I think this is the kind of game where Maple Grove misses him.
Osseo fortunate to get it back after it hit a foot on the pass. Matt Bezdicek, a little trouble with the dribble. Now Armstrong goes by Bredensteiner and lays it in. What a move.
What a great body control, and then to get it over the big fella too with that kind of angle off the backboard. Beautiful shot.
Davison splits a double team. Here's Horton for 3, and it's good.
That's big. And you can see Osseo's game plan. They're going to collapse. They want someone other than Brad Davison to take a shot. That's a big-time bucket.
John Bezdicek trying to answer. It's tipped out to the corner, and Armstrong is on the sideline as he dove for that one. So it will be Crimson ball. Marmar Hughes coming in for Osseo to get another look at this hoop.
Yeah, and you can see clearly they're going to collapse. They want someone else to make shots. Force guys that aren't used to having big scoring nights. Bubba Horton, for example, and he knocks down a big shot.
Hutchison to Bredensteiner. Back out to Hutchison. Now they get it to Davison. Hughes in there checking him. Davison driving over to Bredensteiner. Layup good.
What a pass. What a great pass. I thought he was going to hit Hutchison in the corner, and he wrapped it around for a nice shot. Nice finish, too, by Bredensteiner.
Williams, out of control shot there, and then knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Osseo's Matt Bezdicek.
And here's the replay. Watch the wraparound pass. That's just knowing your teammates, knowing where they're going to be, and a nice job by Bredensteiner not giving up on the play, following the play to the rim, knowing he might get the ball and be able to finish. So you're getting a couple of role players getting buckets early. I think that just helps the confidence of Maple Grove.
Jared Martinson comes in to replace Nico, number 31, 6'5", and they'll get it to him. Osseo by 7. Maple Grove has started to get the offense on track a little bit here, but still down 16-9 as Davison comes into the front court. Horton will give it right back to him.
You see Horton forcing Brad, trying to make him go to his left. I think Brad is so great going to his right, and they're taking his right hand away, and I think that's a good strategy.
Martinson has to save it and just barely gets it in back to Davison. Drives it with the left hand, goes back, right, score it, and a foul.
What a finish. What body control. Takes the contact. I think one of the things about Brad that doesn't get mentioned about is how strong he is. And watch him driving. First of all, he's going to his left, comes back to his right, takes the contact, and while he's diving to the ground, to flip that up with that angle and that kind of spin, that's a beautiful, beautiful finish.
Looking to complete a three-point play. That was the first bucket for Davison's and a couple of assists. And the free throw, though.
Yeah, leaving quite a few points here early on the free throw line, Maple Grove is.
Back up top, John Bezdacek around to Williams. Matt Bezdacek flashing free and then had a slip out of his hand. Davison bringing it up court to Pickford. Pickford driving it and score.
Nice hang time there. That ball rolled on the rim and said, you know what, for you, buddy, we'll go in. Nice bucket, good transition. That's where I think you got to slow Brad down, right? Don't gamble on a steal where he can get ahead of steam in transition. I think you just got to move your feet, try to stay in front of him, slow him down a little bit.
Horton will be called for the hold on the drive attempt by Williams.
And that's where Pickford's so valuable. Really that, maybe the only other guy that attacks the basket. You know, you got Hutchinson, you got Martinson, you got Horton. Those guys are good stand-up shooters. But Pickford, really that one other guy that can attack the bucket, has the quickness, athleticism to do it.
John Bezdacek fading backward, missed it, but Anderson is there to corral the rebound. They lost track of him briefly. Nobody knew who had him. Inside it goes. Matt Bezdacek fouled by Davison.
Oh, and a smart move by Bezdacek to going right at Brad Davison. I think guys back away from attacking him. And that's what you do against a great offensive player, and he's a good defensive player too. You go right at him, force him to play both ends of the floor. Maybe you get him in foul trouble. So heads up play.
Coach Schroeder pleading his team's case on that one, feeling that Davison was straight up, but didn't get it. Matt Bezdacek, however, unable to hit that first free throw, so Osseo's been in a bit of a drought, and they're not able to get that free throw to go. Bredensteiner and Nico come back in here for Maple Grove. And missed them both. Davison doubled in the backcourt. Got it across to Bredensteiner, now Pickford. And they get it back to Davison, but Osseo did what they wanted to do. They got it out of Davison's hand.
I think that's how you have to defend Maple Grove. You force someone else to be the playmaker if you can.
Davison stepping back for three. It was a little off balance. Nice rebound though by Horton. Yep. Ooh, and then he almost threw it away. Davison driving, a lot of contact, and it'll be a blocking foul on Matt Bezdacek.
Well, that's a big call because if that is a charge, that's number 2 on Brad Davison. And it's such a hard, we saw this in the first game, Jay, where we had a bunch of block charge calls. You know, I tend to think that is a block when you're moving a little bit out on the perimeter like that. But I love the idea of trying to pick up that second foul on Davison. That's huge. But on the flip side now, you're in the bonus. Maple Grove going to be back at the free throw line.
And interesting the contrast that, you know, one end Davison thought he didn't foul Bezdacek, and now at the other end you see the same. No good, but Bredensteiner gets it back to Nico for the hammer.
How about Ryan Bredensteiner going up, just beating Osseo to the jump, and then having the wherewithal to just hand it right off to the big fella, and Reed Nico slams it down, getting that dunk, getting this crowd fired up.
It's almost like everybody wasn't sure it was a one-and-one there. Davison up with the steal here for the Crimson. Driving it and then kicks to the corner. Horton shooting it up, no good. Pickford rebounds. Got it away from Williams. Then Pickford drives and finishes. What a hoop.
What an athletic play. He took that from half court, made some great moves, great body control, showing his athletic ability, and that gives Maple Grove the lead.
Tough baseline fader by Anderson, no, and Nico rebounds. So Maple Grove, after the slow start, now up 1. Davison driving down the middle and scores it.
And a beautiful, that's what we call rock the baby. He hesitates to his left to right crossover. He goes to his right. He can finish as well as anyone in the state of Minnesota. And momentum clearly on Maple Grove's side.
Williams travels. Started to go baseline. He saw it was cut off and hesitated with it, so Maple Grove now leading by 3 as Armstrong checks back in here for the Orioles. Davison slowly into the front court. Now Horton faked the pass, driving it down the middle and missed it. Bredensteiner trying to keep it alive but couldn't.
even though they didn't score there, you love to see Horton aggressive, right? Attacking the basket. And then Ryan Bredensteiner's just been attacking the offensive glass. They got to get, Osseo has to get a body on him. He's kept possessions alive. That's led to extra points for Maple Grove. But just even attacking, you're getting those other players attacking the basket, it makes the defense pay attention to them, and it opens up things for Reed and for Brad Davison.
Betty getting it down low and got that hook up and over Nico. It looked like Nico got back in pretty good position, and Betty, a lesser man, maybe wouldn't have attempted that shot, but he got it up there quick.
Well, he's 6'4". He's a big body, Cameron Betty is. And a nice, just a little hesitation, just enough to get Reed Nico off his balance.
And Davison called for the travel.
I used to get that called on me all the time. You get excited to go to the basket. You just shuffle those feet just a second before you start moving, and it's an easy call for the referee. Frustrating as a player, but definitely the right call.
High screen for Anderson, wants the lob, but Maple Grove read it. Bredensteiner picked it off. Ahead for Pickford. It bounced off his chin, though. And now Hughes back the other way for Osseo. Leaving it for Jones, and he'll let it rip. But no good, and Pickford the board. Pickford wants to push it the other way. Davison, three-pointer right side. No good, and it crawls over the backboard and out.
And really, neither team's shooting the ball that well. Demario Armstrong hit a three, and we saw Bubba Horton knock down a three earlier, but most of the points have come either from the free throw line or attacking the basket. Osseo as well doing a nice job penetrating, getting easy layups, but nothing from the perimeter. It's funny, as loud as it is in here, as soon as the three-point shots are released, you just feel the collective, everyone holding their breath, wondering if it's going to go in.
Anderson to Tyson on the baseline. Jones pitching it inside. Here's Betty looking to go to work again. Now back out to Anderson. They want that screen and roll. Anderson driving, no, but Betty there for the rebound.
Oh, it's beautiful offense. You take the big fella, he goes up for the shot block. Cameron Betty, who Reed Nichols guarding, just follows right behind, and he's got explosive jumping ability as well. Betty's had a nice ball game here, and I like that they're attacking Reed Nichols, either forcing him to see how his ankle feels or trying to pick up that second foul.
Osseo by one. Hutchison put it on the court, thought about that step back, but doesn't take it, and now Pickford handling. Davison wanting Nico to post there. They keep attacking that left side, but Betty's doing a pretty good job getting around.
Well, he's fronting him, and what Reed's saying is swing it. I got a high-low here.
Pickford way off with that one, but Bredensteiner tracks it down, and then they get a traveling call on Bredensteiner.
Yeah, Osseo, nice job there. Cameron Betty's fronting Reed Nichols, but they have a nice job of help side coming on the weak side, just tempting Maple Grove to throw that lob up to him. And that's how you defend it. If you're giving up size and height down low, that's a great way to defend it. It takes a lot of hard work, good teamwork, good communication, but if you do it right, it can be a very effective defense.
Anderson, Armstrong gets Pickford in the air. Now to Dante Jones, left wing, and it's good for three.
Oh, nice shot, Dante Jones. Nice pass, nice fake by Demario Armstrong. Shot fake, you see his athleticism, he explodes and makes a nice unselfish pass for a big-time three.
Davison driving it on Armstrong. Yes, blocking foul, and they'll score that hoop.
Again, that strength that I think gets overlooked with Brad Davison. He's quick, he's got good hands, but when he goes to his right, he's able to cuff that ball, and he uses that left shoulder, and he's able to finish through contact. You know, he's only 6'3", but very strong and a very good finisher at the rim.
Davison, though, struggling at the line tonight, 0 for 3, and the lead is 2 points for Osseo. Tyson back out to Jones. Anderson driving it, and the layup is good as they're really catching Maple Grove in those switches or unsure of how to handle that pick and roll.
Yeah, and they have a small lineup, so Reed Nichols forced to come out to the perimeter to defend the three-point line, and it's opening up these penetration and these driving lanes to the basket.
And I like how Anderson is very patient with that, too. He waits. He's not in a hurry, but he gets there when he needs to.
No, he plays with great pace. We always teach our kids, don't play fast. Play quick, but don't play fast. He's slow, he probes, and then he goes when the timing's right.
Davison looking to attack. Dishing for Nico, the one-hand jam.
When Brad went left that time, looked like he was going to finish, dropped it over to Reed Nico. I think Maple Grove has to get the ball down low, especially against this lineup of Osseo where there's just no bigs on the floor.
Bezdacek giving it up. Jones wants to shoot that three, no good. Tip loose and Pickford comes away with it. Pickford turning on the speed. He'll go all the way, but he hit the bottom of the rim. Back comes Osseo. Armstrong, and his scoop hit the bottom of the rim at the other end. Davison coming back. Davison drives, no good. Blocking foul on Dante Jones.
Yep, that's just great body control. You can see that the charge was being set up to take by Dante Jones, and Brad just sideswept him to his left. Knows he's going to get contact. That's an easy play for a scorer to make. And on the flip side, Reed Nico, just his presence down low, able to deter that. You see that sidestep.
Jones paid the price there.
Yeah,
too.
he did.
Ouch.
If Davison would have gone straight, I think that's a charge. But you see that last second, that jump to the left, and then it's kind of an awkward angle. And as a defender, you try to slide over to take a charge, and it looks like you're moving, and that's where they get the block call out of it.
Horton comes back into the lineup here for Maple Grove. Davison trying to tie it up here. His first free throw bounced around and dropped his first make after 3 earlier misses. And back to being cold, but on the rebound, it's going to go a foul against Osseo on a hold as they grab Nico trying to get to that ball, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
I think they got Anderson on the hold on that.
Yeah, just a quick little grab, it looked like.
Well, here's another thing too, Jay. You go to the free throw line as much as Maple Grove has. It stops the clock, gives you a chance to rest. So when you're the team that doesn't have the depth that Osseo does, you guys, it's a good 30-second to a minute. It's almost like a mini timeout. You're able to kind of regroup. Davison comes over, gets a drink. Everyone kind of huddles up. It's a good chance to slow the pace down, especially for the team that doesn't have the same amount of depth.
And for the team that doesn't want the game as fast either.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a double whammy there.
Yep.
And Nico knocks down a pair, so he's had a pretty solid start to the night. 8 points already. And it's a 1-point lead for Maple Grove now, 26-25. Osseo had the big lead early, but Maple Grove has come back, and now they exchange leads a little bit. Armstrong driving it down the middle, and he is fouled. See if it'll be Pickford picking it up.
I think it is. Oh, who'd they get?
Looks like Nico.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be his second. Armstrong, kind of like Davison, he gets the ball at the top and his eyes light up. He thinks he can go by these guys. And that time he was able to draw the foul.
And he likes to go left, too, being a left-hander, but he's got such a quick first step. And sometimes even when you've game plan, you know a guy's going to go left. And then you see the speed and the quickness of which he gets there, it's still hard to take it away.
Second free throw, no good. And we saw it in that first meeting, and a backcourt foul is going to go against John Bezdacek, and Davison will go to the line. We saw in that first game an example of how Armstrong can get off the floor so quick as he threw down a monster dunk. I've seen him in practice a few times, and you know he's a good athlete from watching him at Maranatha before, watching him in the football season, but he really can get off the floor quick and high for a guy his size.
And it's not just that he jumps high, it's how quick he can elevate, right? And there's a foul on Bezdacek, 80 feet away from the basket. I like the idea of pressuring Davison, but you got to do it without fouling. Again, you slow the game down, you're putting a really good score at the free throw line, allowing him to get a rhythm. Osseo's got to find a way to play that pressure, but do it without fouling, especially when you're already in the double bonus.
Second free throw good, although I would say to a certain extent they don't mind roughing up Davison a little bit, bumping him, knocking him around, even if it means a foul or two here or there.
Yeah, but that's when there's 2 fouls, 3 fouls, yeah, absolutely. But when you're, look at that.
Armstrong drains a deep three.
He said, quit talking about just my athletic ability. I'm also a good shooter. And that was some deep. That was a good 3-4 feet behind the 3-point line.
So Osseo back in front now, 29-28, about 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Regular season finale here. Packed house at Maple Grove. Maple Grove pulled out a 1-point win over Osseo in the girls game. Davison driving it left, goes with the left hand and scores. And just like Armstrong can shoot it, Davison says, I can go left. Yep. I'll prove it to you guys.
Well, and Osseo's forcing him left, and Brad took it. And not only did he go left, but he finished with his left hand, too.
Armstrong, a heat check here, this time off the back of the iron, and rebounded by Horton.
I'll tell you what, when a player can go both ways, equally effective, finish with both hands, and can shoot the ball, and is a good passer, that's when he's really hard to defend.
Going to get travel call on Davison, and he is disputing it. It's a move that he does a lot, and I thought there was one earlier that I thought could have been called like that too, and I think you'll see different officials call it another. Yeah. Tyson was fouled by Hutchison.
Well, and here's what's big with this shot. Tyson's going to go to the free throw line. He's got 0 points. He didn't have a big game against Maple Grove. He's a great shooter. He's going to go to the line now for a 1-on-1. And I always say, you give a shooter who hasn't got a lot of shooting in, hasn't been making shots, you get him to the free throw line, he can see the ball go through. It can really end up doing wonders for a shooter's confidence.
So all 5 starters have now scored for Osseo with that free throw, and the game even up at 30 here with 2:39 to go. Tyson looking to give his team the lead back, and he does. So 31-30 Orioles, and Davison looking to bring it up. Osseo coming with a little 1-2-2 or 1-2-1-1 pressure here. Horton had it knocked away. Fortunate to get that one back because it almost went off his leg.
You can't be nonchalant when you're playing Osseo, right? When you catch the ball, little things like coming to the ball, receiving it, holding on hard with 2 hands like Brad just did right there.
And he'll be called for the travel. Well, and I was going to say, it reminded me of a long time ago, Coach said, you were nonchalant with the ball, and you said, well, I didn't see him there. And then Coach says, expect it every time.
And with Osseo, as well as they defend and as quick as they are, as relentless as they are, you got to know it's coming.
Anderson. 1-4 set here. Anderson driving it on Davison. His floater's off, but rebounded by Bezdacek. Armstrong thought about the 3, and a blocking foul on Martinson as Armstrong looked to attack.
And again, he's got that shot fake and then that rip through where he goes to his left hand. And Martinson tried to get there, and again, knowing he was going left, just couldn't still get there. Knowing it and getting there against that type of explosiveness are 2 different things. And Armstrong's had a great game. He's already in double figures with 12 points. He's going to go to the line here trying to get to 13 or 14.
I think you're right about Armstrong's shot fake. Some people have a shot fake that isn't all that convincing, but somehow his is always getting you thinking he's going to take it.
Yep. And the fact that he's knocked a couple of jumpers down already, too, just elevates that awareness that you're getting out to him.
Makes the first, makes the second, so Armstrong stretches his team's lead now to 33-30. Hutchison back across to Davison, and now Jack Hutchison. Under 2 to play in this first half. It's been a good one. Davison getting the high pick now. Horton. Davison, a long 3, no good, but Horton had it. Bezdacek knocked it loose though. Here comes Alan Anderson. Armstrong open on the wing, and no good with the 3, and Horton first to the rebound. Baseline drive, Hutchison with the scoop, and it's in and out. Martinson hustling after it, and then we will get a foul call. Well, all the officials look like they're calling something, and now they have to make sure that they're on the same page. It looks like it's going to be a foul on Martinson. And so free throws coming for, it will be on Martinson. His second in a row, so it will send Matt Bezdacek to the free throw line. So Bezdacek checking into the line where he is 0 for 2 tonight. Gets that one down confidently, though. Osseo by 4. Second one no good, but it winds up with Armstrong, and his jumper won't drop. Here's Kyle Williams grabbing the board. Bezdicek for 3. No good. Kept alive. It's out off of Davison. So Maple Grove struggling on the defensive glass here. Osseo getting multiple opportunities, and the Orioles will inbound from the baseline right now, up by 4. Anderson struggling, now gets it into Betty. Anderson will bring it back out top as we go under a minute to play here in this first half. We'll be hearing from the coaches at halftime. Anderson back out, Bezdicek. Williams giving it up to DeMario Armstrong. Goes by Bredensteiner, but then his bank shot won't go. He was forced a little bit wider than he wanted. Here's Pickford driving it back the other way, and he misses. Armstrong leading the break for Osseo. Gets the return pass, and now Williams open for a 3, but no good. Rebound fought for Davison, wins the battle. Davison trying to go between a couple of players, and they lose it. Here's Osseo underneath for Betty. Layup is good. Betty's 5th bucket of the half, and it's a 6-point lead for the Orioles. Under 10 to play in this first half. Pickford, Hutchison to the baseline, and again it won't quite drop. Armstrong the rebound, really have time to get the shot away. He does, and no good. Thought he was fouled, but it does not seem as though they got that call, so we have reached halftime, and a 36-30 lead on the road here for the Orioles as they close the half pretty strong. Maple Grove missing on a couple of opportunities late in the half, and not getting exactly the shot they wanted on a couple of opportunities as well. Let's go down to Ryan now with Coach Tyson.
I'm here with Coach Tyson. Coach, you're up 6 in a hostile environment. What did you think of the first half?
It was an up and down style. That's what we want. I think we committed a little bit too many fouls, overall. But I like our intensity. Our kids are playing with a lot of heart. We got to speed things up even more. We got to keep getting to their bench, keep wearing them out.
One thing I always talk about is playing quick but not playing fast.
Yeah.
Your kids seem to do that really well. You have a good pace, but they're always in control.
Well, I appreciate that, and at most times they are. At some points, though, tonight, we were playing a little bit too fast. We want to push it up, get a good shot. If it's not there, pull it out, make them work a little bit defensively. I thought we were a little bit impatient with some of the quick shot selections.
Lastly, I thought tonight you guys are doing a really good job with Brad Davison, making him work, forcing him to his left.
Yep.
What's the strategy here in the second half?
We got to keep doing that. We got to try to keep forcing him to the left, keep giving the ball out of his hands. But the bottom line is, again, once he penetrates to the rim, we got to get quicker to the help side and take that charge and be in good position.
Up 6. What do you tell the guys at halftime?
Hey, you got 18 minutes left, all right, for an undefeated season. I think you guys are doing exactly what we've asked of you. Don't get complacent. Let's go after it here.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, back up to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Tyson. We'll hear from Coach Schroeder coming back into the second half. The Orioles leading the Crimson by 6 as Osseo tries to finish off an undefeated regular season. We'll be back with more basketball here on 12 Sports.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Will, for example. His first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. He's learning production skills and now has access to cutting-edge equipment. He's working on local music productions, meeting new people, and gaining experience needed to produce his own show. Best of all, he's sharing his passion for music with others in his community. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And welcome back here to Maple Grove High School as everybody takes a little breath here at halftime of this one. A 6-point advantage for the Orioles as we check out some of the highlights from our first half play. Inside quickly to Betty. Osseo got some easy hoops inside. They really had a good flow early.
They did a nice job, I thought, bringing Reed Nickel out to the perimeter. There you can see laterally just maybe not quite right with that ankle, but keeping him away from the basket opened things up.
Horton just off the bench comes in and confidently nails a three there for the Crimson.
Really the only perimeter shot that Maple Grove had all in the first half. There's a nice drive and a wraparound pass to Bredensteiner.
Davison this time finishing the tough scoop and one there. Had a solid first half, although it called for a few travels and had a few things that didn't go exactly how we wanted. Here's a nice hoop by Betty, leaning away from Nickel, but still concentrating and finishing it.
Well, Betty had 10 points in the first half. I thought he was aggressive. There was a big-time shot. Damari Armstrong, I thought, really the star of the first half.
There's Davison finishing with the left hand. And Osseo up with the turnover, leading to an easy hoop for Betty late in the half. And we check out our first half scoring. Armstrong leading the way, and Betty also in double digits. Davison with 11. And Nico with 8 for the Crimson. Jones and Pickford, the third leading scorer.
Well, if you'd have told me Betty would outscore Reed Nickel 10-8 at half, I wouldn't have believed you. Just in the size matchup right there. You know, and I think that's a testament to Betty for his motor, how hard he works, overcoming. He got a lot of offensive rebounds. And Damari Armstrong, just constant pressure offensively, too. Big key for Osseo.
So we'll come back to Maple Grove here in just a moment as the Crimson trying to rally from a 6-point deficit. Osseo, as we said, looking to finish off an undefeated regular season and head into the playoffs with some momentum. Right back to Maple Grove in just a moment.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Volunteering is more than just a word. It's a window to opportunities. Take Mark, for example. By taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television, Mark is helping bring entertainment and information to his community, along with building a foundation of skills that will take him one step closer to his dreams. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
The world is online, and we're all connected. While there's a lot to explore and discover, we each need to do our part to keep the internet safe. Cybersecurity starts with you. Learn how you can stay safe online at dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
And welcome back here to Maple Grove High School. Let's go back down to Ryan now with Coach Nick Schroeder.
I'm with Coach Schroeder. Coach, you just said off camera, layups and free throws. Is that really the key there to the first half?
I think so. We're getting to the basket. We're doing what we want to do. We got to finish layups. We're getting to the free throw line. We're shooting 53% from the line. It's uncharacteristic of us for the season, so I see us doing that better in the second half.
How's the big fella's ankle?
He's fine. He's a tough kid. He's going to toughen up. He's going to play. He's got to stay out of foul trouble.
Besides free throws and taking care of the ball layups, what do you have to do to win this game?
We got to keep them out of the lane ourselves on defense. We're giving up too many middle drives. We got to make them go where we want them to. That's where our help is, baseline. So we got to do a better job of that.
Well, win or lose, I still love you.
I love you.
All right, good luck in the second half. Back up to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan and Coach Schroeder. Of course, they were, for those fans that don't know, AU teammates back. Ryan, a great star at Eden Prairie, and Nick, a great star at Osseo, and they're longtime friends and old teammates, as we said. So, and obviously, Nick Schroeder knows Coach Tyson very well. He also was an assistant with Osseo's program before taking the Maple Grove head coaching job as well. So, it's a friendly rivalry in ways, but also definitely a rivalry, no doubt about that. Both teams expect to be, and no doubt will be, number one seeds in their section. Of course, Osseo in Section 5, 4A. Champlain Park would figure to be the other top contender in that section, with defending champion in that section. And then Maple Grove is up in Section 8, where Elk River should be the number 2 seed there. Maple Grove, I think, would be considered the prohibitive favorite in that section as well. But obviously, you have to get it done on the court and be ready for that too.
Well, I kind of like that they spread the sections out a little bit. I like you're getting some of the top teams that are always battling each other in the section. It's a way where you feel like you're going to get better teams in the state tournament, or teams that are deserving of being there have a better opportunity to get there. They're not taking each other out in the section. So, and again, you and I talked about in the pregame, I love that this game means nothing more than just, hey, it's pride. We want to win this game. You're not holding anything back. You don't care if you're showing certain sets or how you're going to defend each other. You want to win this game.
Some good garb in the crowd here tonight too, besides just all the crimson t-shirts and the orange t-shirts. Underneath for Dante Jones, and the layup's good.
I mean, it's beautiful offense. 3, 4 passes, a quick backdoor cut, no dribbling, just catch and turn for a layup. And that's how you start. That's how you execute to start the second half.
So the Orioles by 8. Davison steps out and shoots a 3 ball. It's short. And Betty, now they fling it ahead for DeMario Armstrong. Almost had it stripped. Goes over to Jones. Hesitates to avoid Nico and lays it in.
It was almost like a little shot fake, and Reed just went a little bit too far back. And I'll tell you, Davison's been short on a lot of his jump shots tonight. And sometimes as a shooter, you just got to find your legs, get your rhythm, maybe get back to the free throw line, see the ball go in, get a couple of easy baskets, and then that three-point shot looks a lot easier. And you can tell Brad's getting frustrated too, thinking he's getting some contact.
Here's Nico blocking Anderson's shot, and here come the Crimson.
I think Maple Grove too, they need Jack Hutchison to show up here in the second half. I don't think he attempted a shot.
He had those 2 little driving scoop layups that just didn't fall at the end, yeah.
But he's such a good three-point shooter. They got to try to get him aggressive, looking for the ball, and then when he catches it, whether he shot fakes and then drives, whatever he's got to do, they need someone to step up to take some of the load off of Davison, and also trying to get the ball maybe into Reed, where he can use his size advantage down low.
Davison surveying the defense here. Now goes to Bredensteiner. Here's Hutchison. Well, we talked about Hutchison doing a nice job on Dion Tyson, same way the other way.
Yep.
They know each other well, and they've really taken away each other's strengths.
Well, they're very similar players too, right? They're jump shot oriented, but are excellent players, smart players that make good decisions. And they don't force things too. And then when they're defended well, they swing it and make the right basketball play.
Now Maple Grove, patient, working the ball around, which they want to do. However, they're down 10, so Osseo, I don't think, minds this as much as if they were a team trailing here.
Exactly.
Here's Pickford. Hutchison will shoot the three from the corner, but no good, and Armstrong boards it. Jones lost his shoe a little bit, so he's tardy getting up court. Armstrong way back out to Anderson. They leave him open. Anderson, long two, won't go. And then Betty falling over the back of Pickford. They're going to call no foul. The ball out of bounds on the shot, hitting the basket support. So probably a little bit of a break for Betty there, because he really basically just fell into Pickford, but the whistle had already blown. Back across to Davison. High pick. Nico trying to get in the way and stay in the way. Cross court. Here's Hutchison, called for the travel as he went with the shot fake and went baseline.
Hutchison just looks like he's not playing with a lot of confidence tonight. He looks tentative when he catches it. That last jump shot looked rushed. He's got such a nice stroke. If they could get him an open look where he would be able to knock down a three, it would do wonders for his momentum, for his confidence.
Orioles by 10. Jones to Anderson. Looking to turn the corner on Pickford, but he got back in good position. Now Dante Jones. Had it knocked away by Davison. Davison up with it, gets it to Pickford. Saw an opportunity and just went after the ball.
Yep. Well, that's the kind of possession defensively Maple Grove needs to get. They're going to have to start to string together a couple of stops and just get into a rhythm here offensively.
Davison in the corner. Bredensteiner, an open 12-footer, and he hits.
That's a big shot, nice penetration. And again, who's going to be that other perimeter player to step up and make plays? Ryan Bredensteiner's had a couple of nice moves, a couple of big offensive rebounds, and there he knocks down the jumper.
Hutchison will be called for the blocking foul here.
And you can see on that too, I mean, Dante Jones overcommits to help and stop that drive. And then Bredensteiner steps in right behind him and fills, no hesitation, knocks down the jumper. Much needed basket for Maple Grove.
Armstrong back across to Tyson. Now it comes back to Zach Tyson on the right side, and down low, here's Betty for the layup.
I thought Zach was going to pull up and shoot that three, and right at the last second, he saw Betty cutting for the basket. Again, Nico, I think his lateral movement maybe just a step slower with that ankle issue, but just making, again, an unselfish play. Had a good shot, Zach did, instead found a better shot for his teammate, and just a beautiful basketball play.
Pickford lucky he didn't get called for the offensive foul there as he led with his off arm again, and maybe he did get called. No, going to be a foul on Betty.
Watch Zach Tyson here. Looks like he's about to shoot it, instead keeps his head up, and he finds his teammate. Cameron Betty sets great screens and rolls hard to the basket.
I was just going to say, people take it for granted that you're going to be ready to receive the ball on a screen roll like that, and a lot of guys have a little trouble with that, you know, seeing the ball coming and getting the footwork down, but Betty obviously is really good at it.
And you know why? Because most guards don't hit the guy who set the screen and rolled, right? Whereas Osseo, they're used to making that extra pass. And so these guys know if they set a good screen, they roll hard, hey, expect the ball, because if I'm open, they're going to make the right pass and give it to me. And again, you heard Coach Schroeder talk about free throws and layups. There's another missed point left at the free throw line for the Crimson.
9-point advantage here for Osseo.
Doesn't it feel like the energy of the crowd is just kind of dipped right now, too?
It was like they're not back from the concession stand yet. Tyson falls down and he is injured.
I hate to see that.
Jones picks it up, getting it to Bezitek, and now they stop play. Tyson grabbing at that left ankle, and obviously last regular season game of the year for either team. You sure hate to see anybody have this happen.
I hate that. I felt that. I know what that feels. There's nothing worse than an ankle sprain. You could tell right when he landed, right there. You can't see it. Oh, Jay, it hurts me just to watch that. That's an awful feeling. And it's an ankle sprain. It's one of the worst pains that you can feel too when that ankle snaps a little bit. You just hope it's not a high ankle sprain or something that's gonna be serious. Sometimes it hurts for a minute or two, and then you start feeling better. Sometimes.
I couldn't remember a time or two seeing a flash of white light. The pain was so hard on an ankle sprain. It's,
It really is. It almost pains me. I can't even watch ankle sprains because I've done it.
Stepped right on Davison's foot.
My ankles still to this day, Jay, are awful from doing exactly that. It is, and it's one of the, obviously you got your Achilles and your knees and things like that, but when you sprain an ankle, that pain is so awful, and it lasts for a couple of days. And again, there you can see they're going to test to see if it's a high ankle sprain, what kind of sprain, but yeah, you hate to see that for Zach, and you certainly hope it's not going to prolong into the playoffs too.
Going to have a couple of teammates come out and help him off, and you can see he's definitely in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it's not fun. What's great too is as heated as this rivalry is, you see the Maple Grove student section cheering for Zach.
I was going to say, not all that many of them did though, really, to be honest.
Yeah, you love, you want to see good sportsmanship. Yeah, that's too bad for Zach Tyson. That's not a fun feeling.
Seems a pretty safe bet. We won't see him again tonight, obviously.
Yeah.
No reason to risk it again in this game. So 9-point lead for Osseo as they'll get the ball back in. Bez to check. Gave up his dribble here. Needs some help. Now gets it back out to Williams. Yep. And traveling on Armstrong.
I'm going to say that's the same play that we've seen being called on Brad Davison as well.
Osseo, comfortable to have this lead, but I start to wonder if for them, the fact that it is kind of low energy right now and kind of slow, that may not be good for them in the long run, even though they're the one protecting the lead right now.
I think they're best when they're attacking and they're full out playing at that pace. Absolutely.
Hutchison to Davison. Now Bez to check, trying to front Nico and doing a pretty good job at it, giving up an awful lot of size. Now they lob over, but there's Williams with the help. Nearly ran into a little girl on the baseline. And now Kyle Williams back across. Jones will shoot it up there, and it's good. Dante Jones for three.
And that's a hard ask of Reed Nico to come out and defend the three-point line, but a heads-up job by Osseo, playing 5 smaller players, forcing the big fella to guard the perimeter.
12-point lead here for Osseo. Davison has been a little less aggressive.
Yep.
A little bit surprised. He has stopped attacking quite as much. Now, of course, he does, and it's stripped away, though, by Williams. They get the outlet and numbers for Osseo.
Yep.
Anderson sees the lane, takes it.
Does he play at such a great pace, doesn't he? He caught that, he was slow, he probed, saw the opening, and attacked at full throttle there, and they're up by 14. Yeah, you're right. To get back to your point, Jay, about Brad, his energy looks off a little bit, doesn't he? He looks frustrated, like he's frustrated with either how the game's going, how he's playing. And again, look at that nice pace, good spacing. You can see right there, number 10, Ryan Brensteiner couldn't leave DeMario Armstrong in the corner, who's hit a couple of threes, opens it up.
Anderson looked like he got up a little bit hobbled too there. Nick Schroeder right now, whether you come back tonight or not isn't as big a deal as how do you move forward with this, with this kind of deficit and get ready for, obviously they're hoping in sections they don't ever have to face a 14-point deficit, but you have to be ready.
Yeah, it's about experience, right? It's situational experience. But at the same time, you're down 14. There's plenty of time left. And what I always like to do, especially when I'm coaching, my son or coaching other AAU programs, is you break the game up into segments. Okay, we're down 14. Let's come out here. We got a timeout. Let's execute. Let's get a bucket here. Then let's get a stop. You take it possession by possession. I know that is such a cliche answer, but that's how you have to view it when you're trying to make a comeback. And they have a player in Brad Davison who's as explosive as anyone around. If he gets going, you get Reed Nickel a dunk, all of a sudden the energy's back up, and this can be a completely different ball game in a few possessions. That's how you have to approach it.
Pickford picking up his dribble. They have to worry about the 10 count here, but they back off a little on Davison. He's able to get it in the front court. Couldn't have been by much, though.
Give it to him.
Davison now will pitch it into Reed Nicko, attacking, and a blocking foul there as Bezdicek gave up his body to try to protect the hoop. And
I like that little play. Davison comes up, he sets a high screen, Reed Nicko ducks to the block, and then Davison pops, and it's an instant high-low. And it's hard to front that situation, too, so it's an easy post-entry pass to Reed Nicko. And I love how he just went right at it, attacked the basket. And again, free throws and layups. Free throws and layups. You got to make free throws, especially when you're down 14.
Yeah, Nicko had made 4 to 6 in the first half, but misses that one. Horton will come in. Bredensteiner out here for Maple Grove. They're kind of endured eye time already. I mean, obviously there's a lot of time to go, but if they don't, start to narrow the gap soon here, and Nicko way off on the second one.
You just feel this Maple Grove energy. They're wanting something positive to happen so they can get back into this game. And Osseo really just kind of like a boa constrictor, just sucking the life out of Maple Grove, not only the players, but also the crowd.
Baseline feed, Bezdicek to Bezdicek, and Matt finishes.
Again, how many times tonight have we seen it giving up a good shot for a great shot? Bezdicek had a nice medium-range jump shot. Instead, he found his brother for an easy layup. Beautiful offense.
49-33 Osseo. Obviously, as we said, some time to go, but we're not expecting to see this kind of margin either way.
And that's what Bubba Horton right there has to drive to the basket.
There's the steal. Bezdicek, no good, but he was fouled by Horton.
Did you see how they were playing Bubba Horton? I mean, overplaying him, giving him the drive to the basket. That's where these other guys from Maple Grove got to step up and make a play. And there's the unselfish play right there. Brother to brother. Could have taken a contested 12-footer, instead drops it underneath to his brother for an easy layup.
Matt Bezdicek to the line. He struggled there in the first half, 1 out of 4, but he knocks this one down.
Really impressed with Osseo's tempo tonight and just the way they play. Obviously, you read about them, you know they have depth. You know that they're unselfish in the number of assists that they average per game, but really fun basketball to watch, how they play and how they share the basketball.
Nicko to Davison, and a foul on the way up court. I think it will be Williams who will pick it up. So they came with pressure that time, and Maple Grove appeared to be on its way to breaking it the way they wanted to, but a foul call. Still Crimson basketball as Horton looks to trigger it into Davison.
Maple Grove, we talked about Osseo's offense, but 3 points in the second half. And we played almost 8 minutes.
Davison driving, and we get a foul call on the drive, again on the Orioles here, and it will be this time on Matt Bezdicek, his third. Davison inbounding to Horton. Trying to go back to Davison. Anderson, though, got a piece of it, and he was up with it. He read that one very well. He knew that pass was coming back.
Yep.
So Osseo is having some clock-burning possessions here with this lead. Hughes driving, went for Bezdicek, but it got away. Here's Pickford, 3-on-2. Pickford, denied by Bezdicek. Matt Bezdicek with the shot block.
That's just great defense. Matt Bezdicek, 6'2". They have good length. And Pickford had a nice job, nice big long strides. Wasn't able to elevate, I don't think, quite like he wanted to, but.
Hutchison a 3, won't go. Horton will be called for the foul, pushing against John Bezdicek.
Well, they got the look that they wanted. Jack Hutchison's such a good shooter. Anytime he was able to get his feet set, didn't have to rush the release, just unable to knock down the 3. I'll tell you, a 3 is what the doctor ordered for Maple Grove right now.
Armstrong back in there for the Orioles. Their lead is 18. They've really seized control of this one. They were up 6 at halftime. Hughes back across to Williams and now to Mario Armstrong. No real sign that Maple Grove's about to make a run or anything either. I mean, they might, but it doesn't look like it right now.
And you can see with Reed Nickel, he's guarding Bezbacek. Forced to guard the perimeter. Osseo smart enough, they'll take the patience here.
Davison jumping in there. Pickford, though, unable to save it. It'll be Osseo ball. Trying to tightrope along the sideline there. Betty will come back in. That's been kind of a nice benefit for them. He had 3 fouls, but they've been able to not only maintain but build the lead. So they could get him some rest. And you know, obviously, you're not real comfortable having a 6'2" guy on nickel, but they were able to get away with it with really no real problem.
And I like they're trying to get Cameron Betty in that high ball screen, forcing Nickel out on the perimeter, and then we've seen Betty roll hard to the basket, and that seemed to have worked.
Davison knocked it away. Bezicek tried to cross over, and Davison took it. Davison driving down the lane, no good, but a foul. And Davison will head back to the free throw line here. We'll see, we'll get the foul against Kyle Williams.
Well, quick hands by Davison on defense, and then doesn't it seem like he can dribble through traffic better than anybody? I mean, it looks like there's nowhere to go, or that the ball is going to get slapped away, but he maintains possession and then explodes to the rim, and he's mad at himself that he wasn't able to finish that.
Well, a lot of guys, if you're really, to get them honest, they'd say they don't really like contact, but he tries to get to the free throw line every time he's got the ball. Makes a pair here, but it's still a big deficit for the Crimson. 51-35. Armstrong shooting a 3, and he hits. Third 3 of the night for Demario Armstrong, and Osseo rolling now up 19. Davison's going to pull it up and shoot it, and he hits. And a quick timeout by Nick Schroeder.
Well, that's what I expect to see here in the second half. If the rest of the team is in kind of a fog, no rhythm, great players take it upon themselves that just make things happen, and we've seen that the last 2 possessions. And they're in transition. I mean, that wasn't poorly defended either. Teron Pickford was running out, guarding the 3-point line, and Demario Armstrong just having a great night. And he's got 17 points. He's got 3 threes. Seen him attack the basket, playing good defense. Be fun to watch both of these teams as they progress into the sections. See how they match up against some of the other top teams in the state. And we've seen Maple Grove play Hopkins and Apple Valley. Osseo played some of the best teams. Took it to Champlin Park, as did Maple Grove as well. But I'll tell you, it's a good recipe for success when you're really efficient on offense and you're also really good on defense. You talked about Osseo with that. The largest scoring differential, points per game differential in the state. And you can see why, just suffocating defense. Quick basketball on offense, but not too fast, not out of control. Making, not taking forced shots, giving that ball up for a better shot consistently over and over. And that's when, as a defense, when you play good defense, and all of a sudden you give up an easy layup, it's demoralizing. And they do, they just suck the energy.
Oh, they're going to bring Zach Tyson out and maybe to be looked at a hospital or urgent care type facility. So.
I hate that, Jay. I feel for that young man. I've been there. I know what that feels like. And you pray it's just a sprain. You pray that ice and rest and elevation, all that stuff just makes it go away, because that's an icky feeling. Anyone that's played basketball, sprained their ankle bad, knows how awful that feeling is.
Now Maple Grove looking to trap, and a foul call as Armstrong split between the double team, and will be just the 4th team foul on the Crimson.
I like Maple Grove out of the timeout, come in with a trapping defense.
I was thinking right when Nick called that there's, you've got to do something to change the game.
Yep.
Just to take a shot at trying to get back into this one, because just the way it was going, it looked like they were not really going to make a run. And maybe they won't anyway, but at least you try sometime.
You just change the pace of the game a little bit.
Williams is knocked down, and a 2nd foul in a row here against the Crimson.
You get a lot of coaches that are stubborn. We're going to keep doing it our way. Well, The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So I love the strategy here. Hey, let's change the flow up. Maybe we can get Osseo to play fast. A couple of turnovers, maybe some quick shots. So I love it.
Bredensteiner will be called for the foul here. Maple Grove committing 3 in a row, and I think they've been no doubters on all 3.
Yep.
It's maybe not as much their style as Osseo's to try and really get up on the ball like that, and I think those are all 3 fouls, no doubt about it.
Yep. And just like that, you go from 3 to 6. So the rest of the way now, Osseo will be shooting in the bonus. You increase your ball pressure. The problem is Osseo has 5 guys that can all drive to the basket. You really got to be in a stance, ready to move your feet, ready to help.
And Pickford fouled Hughes right there. And that's, you see this is a veteran crew. They're not going to say, well, we've called a few on them, so now we're not going to call anymore. They're going to call what they see.
Yep. And that's the way it should be. If it's a foul, no matter if that's 8 fouls in a row or the first foul, you call what you see. And, you know, I think for the most part, a pretty balanced and equal, referee game from both sides.
Hughes to the line. Here's, maybe a little bit of good news if you're Maple Grove is maybe, you get a chance to see some free throw misses and come back the other way. Now Pickford is fouled for the Crimson.
And it's just amazing to me, Chase. Passion is loud. As electric as this building was at the start of the game, I mean, it's just the energy level just deteriorated on the Maple Grove side.
They actually end up getting Bezdicek on the reach-in, not Williams there. There wasn't really much contact as Pickford sidestepped him, but then the slap by Bezdicek is what they got for the foul. Pickford's free throw is right on. He has 8 points. Jones and Anderson back in here for Osseo. Maple Grove, this sizable, loud crowd for them, wanting to have something to really get excited about, but down by this big of a margin, they're not quite there yet. Bredensteiner, nice offensive rebound, but can't get it to go. Then Nico gets it back. Davison driving down the middle. Little scoop won't go. Armstrong ahead to Hughes. Hughes for the layup.
How about that? Just like it looks like 2 points for Maple Grove and a flash of a pan. 2 points going the other way.
56-38 Orioles, and now we will get a foul call out high there. And I think it'll be on Hughes. A little hand check. Hughes is one of those guys that could be important. You get in a state tournament game if you have a little foul trouble, or maybe now, unfortunately, if Zach Tyson, is going to be out a little bit. Hughes is a guy that can really get up and play some defense and handle the ball a little bit. Just another valuable guard.
Another missed free throw. And you're right, and he's strong. He's a big physical guard, so he plays good defense. He makes good decisions. There's going to be a charge on Armstrong. Heads up play by Jared Martinson. They're drawing the charge. But yeah, and he doesn't do anything great, but he kind of does everything, right? He can rebound. He's not a great shooter, but he'll knock it down. He's not, overly athletic, but he's quick enough to get to the rim, get an offensive rebound. So he's just added to that depth again that in the state tournament, these guys, they're going to wear guys down. Teams that play 5-6 guys, their depth and their energy that they come at you wave after wave. It's proven to be very successful, obviously, this year.
And now that we're this deep into the season, you're kind of used to them being undefeated. But, let's not forget, they were just a little over 500 a year ago. And a lot of the talk was about Maple Grove coming into the year and about Champlain Park after the great year they had last year. And Osseo obviously has a great tradition. Last year was a little bit of a blip on the radar. They've obviously been very good most years, but I think they've gone beyond even what probably people in their school thought at the beginning of the year.
You know who they remind me of? Like not saying they're in the NBA, but the Spurs, right? That they got 7 guys that don't seem to care who gets the credit. And the other thing too, you need to be a great team. You need buy-in from everybody as far as what their roles are. A lot of teams, you have guys that aren't playing much that think they should be playing. You have guys that score 5 points that think they should be scoring 20 points. These guys seem to know their role, and they do it to the best of their ability. And when you have 8 separate roles all coming together, man, it forms a strong team. Whereas tonight, and you could say the downfall for Maple Grove is they have maybe the best player in the state, or one of them in Brad Davison. But where else do they get that productivity from? And you can see a lot of times a really good team beats a really good individual. But when Maple Grove has other guys step up and play good, that's when they're really hard to beat.
Here's Hutchison taking a long three, and that one's short. Hughes the rebound.
A great design play. Came through a double screen right there. Got a good look at the top of the key. You know, as we talked about, he just has had a hard time. Hasn't scored tonight. Just hasn't. The shots haven't looked good. They haven't been good misses either.
Osseo pulling the ball back out a little bit. Maple Grove looking to trap. Anderson and Armstrong will just play catch over there. Now Jones. Armstrong bumped into by Bredensteiner, and Bredensteiner will pick up the foul. He's just about a half step late in trying to pick that one off. Good effort.
And this is when you're well coached too, and you have guards that can handle the ball. It's hard being down, 18 points to Osseo, because they make good decisions. They take care of the basketball.
Armstrong missing the free throw. Here comes Davison. Keeps the dribble alive, goes to Hutchison. The reverse though won't go, and Jones boards it. He's continued to struggle tonight. I'm sorry to say we might have jinxed Jack a little bit by talking him up in the pregame. And a foul here on Davison. And then Bredensteiner gets a little talking to for kind of slamming the ball down right near an official. Davison reached for the ball but got wrist instead, and Anderson will go to the free throw line.
It's actually a smart play, because it's hard to call that a foul, you know what I mean? And you try to get some contact. Sometimes they'll do that on a shooter. You'll hit their arm as they shoot it. But it was the right call.
And Osseo again kind of struggling at the line. Davison popping along three, and this one is good. Davison finally hitting his first three of the night. And then a quick timeout taken by Maple Grove.
That time you notice he was able to gather himself, got his legs underneath him, had good rhythm. He's been short on a lot of jump shots. That time really a nice job extending on that follow through as well. Knocks it down.
Good to see this kind of a huge crowd here tonight, and good to see folks in this school district are really enjoying basketball and coming out and supporting these teams like this. And hopefully there's an atmosphere like this when they play their respective sections too. Maple Grove, when they were in Section 8 earlier, did get into the state tournament winning that section. You don't want to say this, but definitely an easier path than what they would have had the last few years.
Yep. But you still got to play the game, right? You still got to do the little things and have good effort. And doesn't matter what you're supposed to win. You still got to go out and win it on the basketball court.
Anderson doubled up here, steps between, and gets it to Armstrong.
See, just a little play like that. You see how Anderson split that double team? Being strong, stepping through like that, opened up a passing lane for him. Just a smart play.
And Anderson looking back at the official to see if the 5 count is going too. I mean, he's on top of things out there. And Bredensteiner will be called for the foul.
Bredensteiner's getting squeezed.
And I think he might have got freed up there. He's gotten real demonstrative. This is about the 3rd or 4th time, and I think they finally had enough.
Yep. And it was clearly a foul too. I mean, having that reaction, I think it was the foul before, when Davison fouled him, slammed the ball down, and referees don't like that. They don't like the feeling that you're showing them up at all. Whether you are or not, if it appears that you are.
And so that's the 4th and 5th fouls there on Bredensteiner, because the technical also counts a foul, so he will have to sit now. And Anderson will go to the free throw line. Teams seed for their sections over the weekend. Again, as we talked about earlier, pretty much a foregone conclusion for each of them, as they'll be the #1 seed.
Well, you think if you're Osseo, you're 25-0, you're 18-0 in a very deep conference, the Northwest Suburban, and you're not ranked #1 in the state. You're thinking, what more do we have to do to get that #1 ranking?
One more coming here for Anderson. I'm sorry, make that 2 more.
Yeah, because they're in the double bonus in addition to the 2 technicals, so it'll be 4 shots and the basketball. So besides being obviously a poor technical foul, it's out from the situation. It's horrid. You got 4 free throws and possession of the ball.
So Osseo inbounding at half court. They are up 59-41. Armstrong's dribble hit a foot. He gets it back. It's a tie-up. And alternating possession will go Maple Grove's way.
Yeah, good energy, good trap right there in the perfect spot, right in front of the half-court line in the corner. Nowhere for Armstrong to go. Quick hands, too, by Maple Grove, able to get possession of the ball.
Here's Davison letting it rip, but no good. Knocked away, and Hutchison winds up with it. Now Teron Pickford, he is fouled, and will go to the free throw line.
How many shots has Teron Pickford had where he's gotten fouled, gotten a shot up, and it just rims in and out? Just close but no cigar tonight. Teron Pickford attacks in the basket, got a lot of free throw attempts too.
Pickford's free throw is good. Misses the second one. So now Anderson keeping that dribble going. Pickford fouled it.
So it's a 17-point game, Jay. You heard Nick Schroeder at halftime say free throws and layups, right? Well, they've missed 12 free throws. Now, granted, you're not going to make every free throw, but let's say you made 9 out of those 12, and this is a completely different basketball game. You add in, 2 or 3 layups that rimmed in and out, and now you got a totally different game. So as dominant as Osseo has been tonight, a couple things here and there, free throws and layups. This is a completely different basketball game. That's how fickle sports are, isn't it?
And I think this sport probably as much as any, because you can just have an off night shooting the ball, shooting free throws, and then the next night you might be dynamite at it.
Well, here's another thing, too, to think about. With Maple Grove, Brad Davison has 18 points tonight, which is, for most people is a phenomenal night scoring. For him, it hasn't been the most efficient 18 points he's ever had. There's another finish.
Anderson, the hoop and one.
But my point being, would you agree Brad hasn't been at his best here tonight? And you see the results with Maple Grove. Whereas Osseo, they have, Zach Tyson obviously got injured here. But before that, I think he had 2 free throws, right? He has an off night. He had an off night in the first game. But when you have 7 guys that all score almost in double figures, then it's like you can afford to have one or 2 guys have an off night because someone else is going to pick you up. With Maple Grove, I think they need Brad Davison to be efficient and monstrous on the offensive end. Or have other guys step up and pull the slack, and tonight just has not been that night.
64-42. And folks starting to leave, and that's a turnover by the Crimson. Did not think we'd see that. A little bit of early exit because Osseo has this one in command. Going to get a season sweep of the Crimson. Back cut here, but read by Horton, and he picks it off. Here comes Davison. Davison, offensive foul.
Well, and you wonder if Coach Schroeder at this point might think about getting Brad Davison out of the basketball game to avoid any possible injury. Yeah, and that's a good call. You talked about Brad wanting contact right there. If he doesn't extend that arm, he might get the blocking foul.
Pickford will check out. Michael Liu, number 15, reporting in here for the Crimson. I agree with you. As much as you hate to throw in the towel or anything, but I think and we get a timeout taken here by Coach Tyson for Osseo. 64-42 lead for his team.
You know, and to your point too, where this game means nothing really more than just pride, right? So I think the outcome at 22 points, you know, under, you know, just around 3 minutes left, why not get Brad out of the game? Why not, you know, you've seen Reed Nichols sit here the second half not wanting to injure that ankle, especially when you see a kid like Zach Tyson go down with a bad ankle injury. So I think as a coach, you just say, hey, you know what, tonight wasn't our night. This isn't our ultimate goal here tonight. We can still obtain our ultimate goal. Let's get our guys off the floor healthy, rested. We don't want anything, you know, basketball's a freak sport. You land wrong, you buckle wrong, anything can happen like that.
A little perspiration on the floor, so Osseo Sanderson doing a little bit of everything tonight, including cleaning up that spill.
He's a full-service guard is what we call it. When you score, you rebound, you assist, you defend, and you also clean the floor for safety precautions. You love it.
And as we mentioned in the pregame, Osseo coming out in their freshly minted conference champion t-shirts. They'd already secured the title regardless of what happened here tonight in the West Division of the Northwest Suburban. Pamplin Park, the North Division champion for the second straight year. Inbounded to Anderson, and Osseo going to try and salt away this last 3 minutes or so as they are in command. Asking Coach Tyson a little bit earlier at practice, you know, I couldn't remember had they had an unbeaten regular season. And he said, since he was a coach, and he said, yeah, the one year we did, we ended up getting beat by Cooper in the section final that year, the Rodney Williams era. And so, you know, that didn't guarantee him anything that year. So you have to come ready to play against everything. There's Davison with the layup.
Well, we saw the Patriots, you know, being undefeated in the Super Bowl. It doesn't mean anything in the postseason other than, hey, you had a great season. It means you didn't take any, there's an athletic play. It means you didn't take a night off. You didn't, like you said, Jay, you didn't have a clunker during the regular season. It's a great testament. It doesn't add any more pressure or any less pressure. You're going into the section, the #1 seed. And as a coach, you love it because you say, hey, guys, we were 26-0. We've done this 26 times. We can do it 3 more times, 4 more times, whatever it takes to get to our ultimate goal, which is the state championship, of which Coach Tyson and Osseo are no strangers to as well.
Davison looking to drive, will step back, and he'll be called for the travel.
And Brad's frustrated, Nick Schroeder's frustrated, and the Osseo crowd loves it.
Zion Allen, number 24, will check in, and Davison will check out here for Maple Grove. Osseo making some subs now. Quincy Williams, number 1, checking in for the first time as well. Armstrong back across to Anderson. Certainly weren't expecting to see a 20-point game with 2 minutes to go like this. Anderson into the corner, gets trapped, threw it underneath. Nice catch by Bezdicek, scores, and a foul. Matt Bezdicek finishing. The catch was probably as impressive as the shot.
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't just a catch. It was the way he got his balance and he was able to get the shot off, getting his legs underneath him, took the contact, able to nail it. And again, you're just seeing that depth for Osseo. Multiple players with 7, 8, 9 or more points.
Bezicek hits, and coming in now for Osseo, Big Nash Jensen, number 45.
And we saw him earlier carrying Zach Tyson off the floor with his ankle injury and getting some duty here with under 2 minutes left.
And I have to think that catch and run he had in the state football tournament as a massive tight end might have been one of the more memorable plays of the year too. And it was a big one too.
It was a very big one. And I remember talking to Coach Lamker before that game, and he said, we have a play. We think Nash Jensen can be a big factor in receiving the ball for us, and sure enough, he made a heck of a play. Big play.
More subs in now. Keyshawn Sutton, number 3, checks in for Osseo, as Tyrone Maxwell, 52 also. Maple Grove bringing in Nathan Martinson, number 43, also Max McNellis, 54. And we get a foul call here on the Crimson. That will be, or excuse me, on the Orioles, Quincy Williams. And free throw is good by Nathan Martinson. Second one is short, and then a foul call on Maple Grove's Allen. As he ended up coming over the back of Williams, who will head to the free throw line here. Williams too strong on the free throw. Getting set to check in for Osseo is Alex Sinan, but he's coming in for the shooter. And free throw no good though, so he can't check in as play continues. Allen driving it here for Maple Grove. Nathan Martinson, a little hesitation, dribble, no good, but he was fouled. Sutton will pick it up. And Martinson hits the free throw. Noah Champion, number 12, comes in here for Maple Grove. And second free throw is also good, so Nathan Martinson's gone 3 out of 4 here. And the undefeated chant here from the Osseo student section is only 4A team undefeated, and we'll get a traveling call here against the Orioles. Well, you have to put Osseo in the mention as teams that have a shot to win. I mean, obviously Apple Valley is a top contender along with Hopkins, but really both these teams. Osseo certainly stepping into the mix with 2 wins over Maple Grove and an undefeated regular season. That pass sailing out of bounds here with 47 seconds left. Malik Harrod, number 50 there in for Osseo. And a foul call, and heading to the line here will be Elefata for Maple Grove. Boker, number 44, checking in here for Osseo. And second free throw also good. Hayden Thompson, number 35, checks in for the Crimson. Jack Hansen also in there, number 55. Under a half minute to play here as Osseo rolling to a win. We're going to get a second offensive foul call here. As Sutton will pick it up. Three-pointer off target. Lou almost had it, and then it goes out of bounds off of Osseo. Couldn't quite keep that one alive. Crimson will get the ball back here, but they are down by 18. It was a 6-point game at halftime, but Osseo just took command pretty early in the second half, and it really hasn't been in doubt for most of the second half. They got it quickly into double figures, and then just never really a serious run for the Crimson. Baseline drive here, and here's Martinson letting it rip, no good. And this one's going to come to an end, and Osseo's undefeated regular season is a reality as the Orioles win it 67-49 here this evening in front of this sizable crowd at Maple Grove High School. So Osseo had a rally in the first time they met after trailing throughout the first half. This time, wasn't quite wire to wire. They traded some leads late in that first half, but Osseo pretty much in control throughout half number 2, and they pull away to the victory here and move to 26-0 on the season as they get set for the Section 5 tournament. Maple Grove, this one will sting a little bit for tonight, but obviously they've still got a real good shot at coming out on top, I think in their Section 8 as well. And you live and learn after a night like tonight, work on a few things, and get ready to come back at it. Osseo students coming out to join their team, celebrate a little bit after this, not just conference championship regular season, but undefeated regular season. Nice the way this one's worked out, to see these teams play each other right at the end of the regular season like this, even though Osseo, as we said, had already kind of wrapped up the conference, but give them opportunity to have had a difficult road game to be ready for the Section 5 tournament. Balance the order of the day again tonight for Osseo, so definitely a nice victory for them. Well, in all that sea of humanity down there, Ryan has managed to find his Osseo guys. Let's go down courtside to Ryan Iverson. Apparently some difficulty with Ryan's microphone. We've got Alan Anderson and Demario Armstrong standing by down there. And we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back and hear from the winners here in just a moment.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
And welcome back here to Maple Grove. Osseo rolling to a 67-49 win here over the Crimson. Let's go down again to Ryan.
Well, I'm with a couple of happy guys from Osseo, undefeated Northwest Suburban Conference champions. I got Demario Armstrong, I got Alan Anderson. Alan, I'll start with you. What did it feel like to hear your crowd chanting 26-0?
Man, it's a blessing. You know, a lot of hard work into this. It's an unbelievable feeling. You know, we worked for this before the season. And we came on top. Yeah.
Coming in here at Maple Grove, great crowd, great energy. What does it feel like to sweep the season series against them?
That's good. You know, Maple Grove is always a rival game. It's big. And, you know, we just stayed within the game, and we just came up on top.
Last question for you. You're going against, you guarded a lot, Brad Davison, who's a very good basketball player. I thought the pace that you played at, the plays you made, the way you run your team was outstanding tonight. What was the game plan going into that?
The game plan, you know, be disciplined. Don't be selfish. You know, give up that good shot for a great shot.
I said that about 10 times tonight during the broadcast. Yeah. Congratulations. Good luck going in the playoffs. And I have Demario Armstrong. Who's a better athlete, me or you, Demario?
I don't know. I got to see you get in the gym.
I'm a little chubby right now, but hey, we talked all night about what a great athlete you are. Great moves, great athleticism, but the way you shot the ball tonight was outstanding. What did you think of your game?
I really just kind of tried to come out first half, you know, throw the first punch, get up on them early. I know they weren't expecting me to shoot as much as I did, so they kind of backed off and I made them pay for it.
I want to ask you this too. You won a state championship in football. Since then, you haven't lost in the sport. 26-0. Is there kind of this feeling like, hey, we don't even remember what losing feels like? We just expect to win every game.
I wouldn't say that. I definitely remember what it's like to lose, and that's why I don't like losing. I mean, I hate to lose more than I like to win. So I'm gonna go out every game and do what I can win the game.
There's something too to be said. You guys have 7 players that average over 8 points. Great balance. Consistently giving up a good shot for a great shot. What's that like to play with that kind of dynamic on your team?
I mean, it's great. That's been a team motto all year, you know, give up a good shot for a great shot. We love sharing the ball. Like, we don't matter who scores. We get excited off for assists as much as we do off for scores. So everybody touches the ball, everyone gets shots up, and, you know, that's how we play as a team.
Last question for you, 26-0. How do you not be complacent now? Now you're entering the real season, the postseason, where if you lose, you're done. What do you do as a leader of this team to make sure that you guys don't drop your guard at all?
Because we know our goal is not to win this game. We know where our goal is. We have high expectations for ourselves, and we know what the goal is, the ultimate goal is, and that's to go to state, win a state championship, and that's what we're looking forward to.
And I think the most important question, could you dunk an 11-foot hoop?
Definitely, easily.
I love it. Congratulations. Good luck in the postseason. Demario Armstrong and Alan Anderson, 26-0, Jay. What a season. It's pretty festive down here on the court.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and congratulations to the Orioles on a fantastic regular season. And we'll be, of course, following both of these teams as much as possible in their respective section tournaments as well. The good news is their section finals are not on the same night, so we should be able to get to both of those and bring them to you on 12 Sports. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this game tonight and the regular season of boys basketball. Again, playoff action to come. Final tonight, Osseo 67, Maple Grove 49. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Maple Grove. Pickford.